Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize, I have no Slovakian, so I hope you will understand my Irish version of the English language. My name is Damien O'Sullivan. I'm the Chief Executive of ECDL Foundation. We're based in Dublin, in Ireland. You may know that, just to give you a little bit of background, ECDL is a certification of basic user skills in the use of computers and common computer applications. We recently launched what's called New ECDL, so it expanded the range beyond common office applications, also looking at modern issues that require people to be skilled in the areas of online collaboration, project planning, IT security, for example. ECDL is not just a European standard, a European qualification, but it is international. It's available all over the world, and we've had over 13 million candidates. And the program is offered through our member organization in Slovakia, the Slovakian Informatics Society, and the program is available through a network of centers here, obviously available in Slovakian language. From our point of view, we approach the issue of skills and skills education from the point of view of our mission, because we're a non-profit organization, and our mission is to enable proficient use of ICT that empowers people. So we like technology. We think technology is an empowering force, and for us it's important that people have the skills to use technology proficiently. And this is something that has been supported by government over the last 15 years. But in the modern times of the last few years, there's been a question mark over whether there still remains a digital proficiency gap. And people starting to question whether, in fact, there still remains a digital divide. Because in the past, we have had a very clear sense of what is digital divide. In the past, it has been the difference between people who had a PC or had no PC, had access to broadband or not, or had the skills required to operate PC and internet technology or not. And in the past, that created what we would regard as a social divide, a divide between different parts of our societies, a divide between those who could participate in e-society, in information society, people who could access government services or not. But to some extent, that has changed in the last number of years because of the development of technology, particularly smartphones and even more particularly tablets. It has changed the dynamic in terms of how people use technology. So now it has broken down. The technology has solved the social problem to some extent. We don't have the same divide between young and old, or the same divide between the skilled and unskilled. Tablets in particular have become accessible in terms of cost. Broadband is more accessible in terms of its availability and cost, and the skills required are different skills, easier skills to master. So now in a family, a typical family like this, we can see parents, grandparents, and children having a common experience. The so-called digital native is comfortable using technology, and equally now, what is sometimes referred to as the digital immigrant, those who come to the digital world later, are having a shared experience. I see that in my own family with my children interacting with my parents, talking about their tablets, talking about their favorite applications. So that divide that existed in the past maybe is closing. It's still there to some extent, but maybe not as seriously in the past. But we believe, looking at it from the Foundation's point of view, that there is a new digital divide. And it is the divide between those who have what we call digital lifestyle skills, those young people and middle-aged people and older people, whose lifestyle contains the use of technology. But those are different skills from the skills we see being required by the digital workplace. There is a difference between digital lifestyle skills and digital workplace skills. And there is a divide, an economic divide that's created if you don't have the skills required for the digital workplace. And many people would wonder, well, what is the digital workplace? from the point of view of policymakers, the European Commission or government, we look at all workplaces potentially being digital workplaces. This is a statement from the European Commission a number of years ago. And they said that by 2015, 90% of jobs will need at least basic computer skills. Now, it may be that 2015 isn't the year it will happen. Maybe it will be 2016 or 2017. Maybe it won't be 90%, maybe it will be 80%. But it's certainly clear to everybody that most jobs now and into the future will require at least basic computer skills. And if many jobs or all jobs require basic computer skills, we have to ask what percentage of jobs will need a higher level of computer skills than just basic. And over the last few years, because of the development of smartphones and tablets, because of that breakdown of the social divide, people have said, well, the era of the PC is over. We're in a post-PC world. The skill requirement is different. But the reality is quite different. This estimate by IDC a couple of years ago did show a significant increase in the adoption of tablets, so that blue line that's rising rapidly, overtaking sales of desktops and laptops. Is that going to become true? Most likely. There are more tablets sold than there are laptops or PCs. But what's also interesting about that graph is that there is not a significant decline in desktops or laptops. There has been some decline, but has not fallen off. And in the first quarter of this year, sales of PCs have only declined by 1.7%. And in the rest of this year, we've seen in certain parts of the world an increase in the purchase of PCs. So PCs will continue to be the workhorse for business. That's a statement by an analyst. Tablets have a role, but PCs are still fundamentally required for the workplace. I came across this study published a couple of months ago by Dell looking at the use of tablets in the workplace. And what's interesting is when you look at this chart, it's comparing the use of tablets in relation to the use of laptops and desktops. And the first section at the top shows that in most cases, the tablet is used as a companion to the PC or the laptop. In the second place, it's showing where the tablet is taking the place instead of a laptop, and in third, in the place of a desktop. So for most users, the tablet is a companion to a laptop or a PC. This is showing the type of worker who uses tablets, and again, they are people that we would regard as mobile workers, so people who travel a lot, whether within the country or internationally, are the greatest users of tablets, or people who need to be mobile within their work environment are the more common users of tablets. People who are stationary may have access to tablets, but it's not fundamentally required for their job, and so the percentages are lower. And we can share this presentation afterwards, so that the precise numbers maybe not important. It's just to give you a flavor of it. And then looking, what is most interesting, what type of applications are intended to be used on tablets. And of course, the reality is it's the same type of activities that are conducted on a PC or a laptop. It's emailing, it's word processing, it's sharing files, it's use of spreadsheets. So tablets are being used as a companion to PC or laptops and being used for largely the same type of activity. Another study from Forrester looked at the mobile workforce, and it described mobile workers as 29% of the workforce who are anytime, anywhere information workers, those who use 3 or more devices from multiple locations. And again, they are still using desktops and laptops for a lot of their activity. So during the week, you can see a high percentage of people still using desktop and laptop. Again, looking at the type of activity that they're engaged in, it is the traditional things of emailing, word processing, spreadsheets, presentations. So tablets are not changing the workplace. They are making people more mobile and able to work in the coffee shop or on the train or when they're traveling, but not fundamentally changing the skills that people need. And again, looking at where people use different devices, it's a choice of device for the environment in which you are, not a choice of device for the type of work that you want to engage in. And that brings us quickly to the issue of skills. Our partner in the UK, the British Computer Society, did a survey of HR professionals or employers. 81% of employers require their workforce to have digital skills, but only 52% believe that they have skills for the future. And you can see then the skills that they rate highly: emailing, word processing, spreadsheets. This study from a UK Department of Industry looking at skills requirements, showing that the percentage of people who have high-level skills is quite small. And I might just skip forward to this interesting study from the Austrian Computer Society, measuring the difference between self-assessment and real knowledge. On the left-hand side in red, those two bars, about 78% of people believe they have strong, good or very good computer skills. But when they were measured in a test, only 7% had that level of skill. So there's a complete mismatch between the skills that people think they have and the actual level of skill. And we talk about the digital native fallacy, and it's a fallacy that people have, young people have skills for the workplace. They don't have workplace skills. They may well have lifestyle skills. And I'll just finish on this quotation from Dr. Dan Russell, who's a Google research scientist. This is something he said at a conference a few weeks ago. He said there is a myth about the digital native and the Google generation kid who, because they are young, are seen to be more computer literate than their parents, but this is totally wrong. Kids can be fluid and fast with computers, but they are only fast when they are doing something that they have a lot of practice in. So going on Facebook, using social media, they're very good at it because they do a lot of it. They do not have the skills for the workplace. They're not very competent in the use of a PC, spreadsheets, and word processing. So our message is always about the importance of opportunities to skill, to reskill, and to upskill. Whether you are age 20, 40, 60, if you are in the workplace or want to be in the workplace, you need to be given an opportunity to skill yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Solinon.
Thank you.